movie notes for a 1995 film. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi. This is my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi, and I'm going to do movie notes for a movie I watched as part of one of my movie week watch lists. Not this past week, but the week before. So it was on my list, and I watched it on Monday, 15 January 2024, and I was like, should I do a movie notes video? Yes, no. And it is now Tuesday, 23 January 2024, and I'm still thinking about whether I should make a movie notes video. So, it's like, you know what? Delayed approach. Instead of a genre summary or a ranking of movies or notes for the same day I viewed it, why don't I do something different? Since I don't have many movie notes dedicated videos currently, I'm going to do a delayed one. So the spirit of this is a YouTube spirit. This is YouTube video fun of trying out a different approach. And so what movie notes from my viewing a little over a week ago still stick with me now? Which is great for, like, if the people in the movie want the perspective, right? They get to know what has stuck with my memory from that viewing for over a week, right? There's the immediate takeaways, but if somebody forgets those immediate takeaways a week later, it wasn't a very impactful movie, now was it? Kind of thing. Okay, so this is, a memory, how did the movie stick with me, kind of thing. So the movie is Copycat, 1995. This is part of my Aunt Danette's collection, so there is no case. I should be like this, but my fingers aren't oily, so it's okay. There's no fingerprints. No fingerprints. That's actually irrelevant for this movie. So Copycat is about smearing a serial killer with the term copycat, right? It's meant to undermine them. It's meant to tear the serial killer down so they might stop killing. By kind of like being like, they just copycat other serial killers. Or they copycat their own murders, that kind of stuff. But the essence of the movie is really about, I guess, so it's a fiction film about catching a serial killer who targets women. And it has Sigourney Weaver and Dermot Mulroney, which is going to be like the bulk of my movie notes is going to be talking about that dude. Damn, that guy. Okay. In my movie watching career, there's only one person like him in all of Hollywood in my memory space. Okay. Yeah. It's like okay. That's not the movie note I'm on right now. I'm on the movie notes for this. So I was like watching this and I was going, so what the heck? I get copycat is somebody who does something that somebody else does. Most simply. If we wanted to strip it of intent, usually the term copycat is meant to like be a little bit of a smear. Like if mimicry is natural, copycat is supposed to have the nuance of it's doing it to be unoriginal or harm the person they're copycatting, that kind of thing. Not always the case, but there is a little bit of a stigma like that these days. And so my takeaway for the name of the movie was, so when they're trying to find the serial killer, they're invoking a bunch of serial killers in similar styles. So my guess, there's the videos trying to undermine serial killers and invoke fear into serial killers worldwide, kind of thing, by being like, you're all copycats of each other. Most simply. Okay, I grew up in the time and place of a serial killer. I am a she, her, hers, and he was targeting young women in this area, the Seattle area. I am a Seattle child. I'm a city child, and had those fears growing up. Green River Killer Gary Ridgway. He was caught in 2001. So this is, serial killers are part of my story. It's not like I listen to a podcast about serial killers and then hike through an area long after they're gone. It's not like I read about them and I'm like, oh my gosh, what if there's a serial killer? No, it was a real and immediate danger in my upbringing, kind of thing. And so it's a little bit of a different life story. In the Seattle area, we are notorious for having some interesting serial killers and kidnappers and stuff. Partially, people blame it on the weather. It's just gray all the time, so they gotta lash out. Okay, so there's that set of notes. And then there's Dermot Mulroney. So as a man, and Dermot Mulroney, my god. So I forgot. He is like somebody who, let's see, I'd see it in stuff. I was growing up. I might have seen part of this movie, but not the full movie. Before, so, and that guy is so distinctive in appearance. And, I was watching it, and so I think it's him, he's in a movie called The Family Stone, and his name is, his name in that movie is Everett, or was Everett. And, there's a city that way, like 45 minutes that way, 30 minutes that way, 45 minutes, depends on traffic, named Everett. And oh my gosh, when I saw The Family Stone, it's like this guy, so he still has a distinctive look. I saw that movie, and it was just like a freight train to my brain, and it was like, poof. Like, it was like... Everett used to be a city that was pristine, and it was like there's no way I could confuse Everett with anything. And The Family Stone came out, and I was like, then I heard the word Everett, and I thought of this guy. Right? I was like, screw you, dude. Like, never in my life before had that happened. And so every time I heard Everett after that, I thought of Dermot Mulroney and the battle for the city. And then I moved back here in 2019, and I was like, I hadn't seen anything with Dermot Mulroney in it, and I was like, Everett was pristine again. It's just Everett. And then I put this movie in, and I watched this movie, and I was like, no, what's his name? I can't even remember the name. Like, and so I'm watching the end credits, and it's like, it's that one, right? It's that one. That's like really obvious. But Dermot Mulroney, that guy. He is the only actor and or actress and or whatever the transgender term is for an actor or an actress or other gender. It's the only human being, I guess Hollywood or otherwise, but Hollywood specifically, where I would say the phenomenon, I would assign the word starstruck as being an actual phenomenon. Like, I'm like, I cannot remember the name of the city. And like, not that I'm like, you know, really sexually aroused for this guy, just like, that just completely derailed that very pristine, I remember this is one thing, memory trace, or whatever it's called. So yes, that came screeching back when I watched this, and I was like, if Dermot Mulroney is mine, and that name is right, I still struggle with that. That's the downside from the I would say potentially from the actor perspective, is now I see him right, and I think Everett, but I don't necessarily remember his name. Like, substantially impaired recall for this very specific individual. If he were my soulmate, he would be forceful, hands-on, and arrogant in a good way. But yeah, so I would say if my takeaways here are Dermot Mulroney from this viewing, and it still sticks with me, and I'm like out there driving to Bothell, and I'm on the Bothell Everett Highway, and I'm like, Dermot Mulroney. Damn, if it didn't happen with this movie this time, it's expanding. So there we go. Those are my notes for Copycat, the 1995 film. And from my Monday, 15 January 2024 viewing, I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi. It's my YouTube channel, Tanis Leonhardi, and I'm filming this in the suburbs of Seattle. Seattle child, you. City child. Still am a city individual. And I'm filming this. What is the point of that? The point of that is I'm filming this in that area. So Seattle area, King County, Washington State, United States of America, Planet Earth original, Tuesday, 23 January 2024.